Reverend Maupin, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We got the news early this morning of the passing of Jesse Jackson. Do you have a couple of stories? We only have just a few minutes. Do you have a couple of stories you want to share with us?
Well, yeah, I'll give you three. One,
okay, great.
In not too recent history, we were the last people to get arrested with him protesting here.
Okay.
When we were protesting, calling for the elimination of the filibuster at Kirsten Sinema's office here, back when she was a senator. So this is the last time he was arrested for civil disobedience. Myself and Warren Stewart and some other people were out there with him. The second story.
Hold on. I mean, let's get a little more in depth here. What was he saying to you at that time about the importance of that effort?
Well, the importance of that at that time, it was the Democrats that wanted the filibuster ended because they felt like Republicans were holding up things like comprehensive immigration reform or health care policies. So it's interesting now to hear the other side calling for the same thing. But Reverend Jackson had an odd dynamic when people would say, well, where is he on immigration? And I always said, he's hard to gauge because when we had the children coming over under the Obama administration, when there were just shiploads of kids, he was actually upset that the federal government sent money there before they sent it to, help people in the inner cities. If we're doing this for, immigrants, what can we do for American citizens?
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt. What's that second story? We can't wait to hear them all.
The second story, I'll tell you the first time I met him. He was speaking at Tanner Chapel AME Church on 7th Street and Jefferson. And my grandmother's a pretty iconic civil rights leader here, Opal Ellis. She and Lincoln Ragsdale and Reverend George Brooks at the time were a part of his presidential committee. I got my original Jesse Jackson for president button here right here. Okay?
Yeah. Wow.
And that's 88. I got
that was the big one
too.
That was a big one.
But they, I never asked for anyone's autograph, but I wanted his autograph. So my grandmother dug an index card out of her purse and she said, well, go get it,
Yeah.
So, and they, pulled me up to the front. And I just remember looking up at him. And for anybody that met him, like on an intrapersonal level, he seems like he's 10 feet tall. His hands seem like 3 times the size of a, this is like seeing a real life hero,
Yes.
And certainly he was bigger than life. The older I got, I obviously realized he wasn't a giant, but in heart and in mind, I think he definitely was.
Yes, that's a perfect way to put it.
Beautiful testament.
Yeah.
All right, story number 3. Let's hear that one.
Story number 3 is going to be, I'm sorry. My sister, if she's watching. We were at Reverend Sharpton's annual convention, April 4th, New York City. I think it was 2008.
Okay.
We're walking into the ballroom where all the VIPs are, and when I'm walking in with Reverend Jackson, we're talking and everything, and he tells my sister, now don't get nervous. When we open this door, you're going to see a lot of famous people. Don't get nervous. And I turned to her and said, don't get nervous.
Right.
So we open the door, and I'm walking in, and I'm used to it, but it's Tyler Perry and James Brown and Spike Lee and all these people, and Donald Trump, who wasn't the president yet, but they're supporting it. And my sister and the couple of people who were with us just kind of froze, and so they didn't make it in. The doors kind of closed on them. I remembered saying, and he said, it's like that sometimes.
Man.
So that's what I learned. You got to keep pace with them.
Yeah.
So it was a very exciting run with Reverend Jackson.
How do you think he'll be remembered?
I think he'll be remembered.
By the way, we've got just a few seconds left, but in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, I think one of the greatest moral, spiritual, and intellectual leaders. He's as eloquent as William F. Buckley, as passionate as Winston Churchill or Ronald Reagan, and as smart as a whip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We really appreciate it coming in.
Absolutely.
This morning.
Absolutely.
And taking a few minutes to celebrate a life so well lived.
Thank you.
Okay. Reverend Maupin, thank you.